Hello and welcome to the Floating Dojo. I've been gone for about a month, mostly due to Flesh and Blood's U.S. Nationals preparations, as I did compete in the U.S. Nationals competition this year, and I did play Katsu, and it went pretty well. And I wanted to kind of talk about the deck that I played, how Nationals went, and then I do have some more gameplay for you guys after this. I'm going to be playing the same deck that I played at Nationals. Just in a highlight for you and get you guys some more gameplay in general at the end of this video. If you want to jump ahead to the video for the gameplay, just hit the chapter below and you'll be able to just shoot right through to the match itself. But yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about the deck that I played. It was considered the traditional Katsu Tradsu, whatever you want to call it. And I ran a 54k card main board, and we ran a bunch of 3-card option sideboard slots here. I'm not going to get super in-depth about the sideboard. I do have a full Metafy guide that I wrote that is available, and I do have the link for it in the description of the video. So if you want to check that out, that has a full sideboard guide, as well as a full recap of Nationals, and just me talking about the deck a little bit and the decisions as to the cards that are in it, and things like that. So I'm going to give you a quick brief kind of talk in this video, and then if you're looking for something more in-depth, especially for the sideboarding for each matchup, check out that Metafy guide. It's only $5, and the first half of it's free anyway. Just the sideboard is really what is paywalled behind there. So, yeah, just kind of jump right into it. We ran the traditional Pouncing Links, Cross-Strap, Breeze Rider Boots, Ancestral Empowerment, Become the Bottles in red and blue. I did a single blue copy just to up the blue count a little bit, so we were at 17 main boarded. It's also a mass target, but you usually don't go for it. But it's just there as an option, really. Bonds of Ancestry, Descendants, 3 reds and a yellow, Fluster, 3 reds and a blue, pretty much standard here. Gust Wave, Second Wind, 100 Winds, we got Surging Strikes, 2 T-Green Reflexes, bunch of Whelmings. I was running Lord of Wind and Mugenshi, which I am still very, very high on. It won me a handful of the games, just in general, throughout the weekend in the side event that I went 4-0, as well as in Nationals. Which in Nationals, I did end up 6-3 in CC. Draft was not so great. We 2-1 to the first day of draft and 0-3 the second one. So we ended up 8-7 overall. But 6-3 on CC with Katsu, I was pretty happy with playing into 3 Marios as well, winning all of those. So I am very high up on this deck, especially once Victor LLs. I do think this is still a pretty good option. But yeah, Red Salt, Tempest Palm, Gust Waves, finish going through the deck real quick. Harmony, Dishonor, Lord of Wind, Retrace, pretty standard stuff. Sideboard would be like Water, Command and Conquer, Flick Flack, Swift Pickups, the Shurikens, Warmonger's Diplomacy, No Room Gloves, and then one Wind Cutter and Breaking Scales, depending on the matchup. I mean, my biggest takeaways, I think, from the weekend were that Wind Cutter, Shurikens, and Swift Pickup are pretty sweet. I think they work really well together, especially in those mid-range matchups where you're going to want to get Shurikens back in the deck and present a 0-for-4 mid-late game. It also incentivizes you to pop these earlier and bait out the D-Reacts because then it turns on Swift Pickup later. So, super powerful. I really liked Command and Conquer, especially into some matchups like Vincent specifically. On an off turn, being able to pull their Disruptive piece from Arsenal or stop their Rune Chain generation from Reduce. This is pretty gas. It's also a popper, so like you can use it for Prism, Fingers Crossed Prism LLs anyway. We don't have to worry about it. I think I was most unimpressed with Be Like Water. So I'll probably making a swap for that. Possibly taking out the Yellow Surging as well. I did well, but there's too many times throughout the weekend where I just drew 2 Surgings, where I had a Surging in Arsenal and I drew the second one. And I think I'm going to just go down to 3 reds and it might just feel better. But yeah, overall, it was a really, really good run. Met a lot of really cool people, played against some really cool, really good matchups. Played into, I think, a Fang, a Marlin, a bunch of Marios, Kasai, Huntsman. We did dodge Victor consistently, which was nice. We had no Victors. But yeah, overall, it was a really good run. I did also want to talk about another Katsu deck that was 5th place in New Zealand in their Nationals, by the name of Sam. He ran this very, I wouldn't say standard, but pretty intriguing list here. Running Mask of Momentum only, which was pretty sweet to see. And the Blazing Your Eye here in the sideboard for the aggro matchups is pretty sick too, into the Singers and Fies. They're also running stuff like Snatch, Spinning Wheel Kick, Cyclone Roundhouse in the sideboard, I'm assuming. Pretty spicy. A Visit the Floating Dojo, pretty spicy. And Winds of Eternity here with the 100 wins and Sync Bullows instead of Flick Flacks. Oh, and Flick Flacks, sorry. So they're running 60 reacts. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can play Katsu right now. This was a cool list. I think I saw their matchup spread. They did run into a lot of aggro, which was pretty good for them. But I think once Victor leaves, before we get Mastery Pack Warrior, I think aggro is going to be pretty strong in the meta. I think when Mastery Pack Warrior comes out, it definitely shifts quite a bit. But that's obviously going to be a problem for when that comes out. I've been messing around with some new lists and different sideboard cards, different mainboard cards, all kinds of different styles of Katsu right now. Just trying to seeing what works and what doesn't work while I have free time. Considering I don't have anything competitive for a while. I'm not going to Pro Tour Vegas. So yeah, if you have any suggestions and you're toying around with Katsu right now too, definitely hit me up and let me know what you're working on. Would love to share what I got and what you got, and try and solve the deck. But I think the deck's doing very well. It's been whatever you'd say, doing well, I guess, in competitions, and there have been events where they are placing in some capacity. So thanks so much for checking this part of it out. Again, I have the link to the Metafy guide for my 6-3 video deck here that I played in Nationals for the United States. I think I finished like 150th or 120th or something like that. There was 4 Katsus at US Nationals. And the other one that was in second was right behind me. Me and him were literally next to each other in the scoreboard, both going 8 and 7. So it was really cool. I got to meet a lot of really cool people when I was there. I had some people come talk to me knowing from the channel. So thank you guys for watching and supporting. And if I met you while you were at Nationals and you said hi, it was nice meeting you. Thank you for supporting the content. And yeah, let's keep it rocking. So I'm going to jump into some gameplay here. And then yeah, I'll make sure the links for everything are in the description below. Thanks for checking it out. It's National Katsu that I played. We had to go first into Zyggy, so we're gonna see what they give us. It looks like they're gonna lead off with a Corrosive Space Dust here, which is fine. We'll ping 1. That does take 1 from us. I probably should have just pitched the Salt the Wound instead of the Harmony and then Arsenaled it next turn. For next turn, I mean. But that's fine. And we're just going to throw a Fluster for 4 here. Leak a couple points, maybe. We'll see what they have floating. But at least this way they don't get to set up any board state on turn 0. Yeah. Yeah, so we take a couple points of damage here. They take a couple points of damage here, which is fine. I'm not going to destroy anything. I'm just going to... Actually, I might... I might Katsu that away and then just find no target, just so I don't have another card in hand and IP it. It's fine if we lose it. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to Arsenal to Salt the Wound. Interesting hand here. Not great again. But... let's see if we can get lucky and use our boots, maybe. I'm just going to block 1. We want to try and take the offense as fast as we can in this matchup, in my opinion. And then we're going to try and just pop... play the Harmony. We'll see what we hit. Get lucky in like a Tempest Palm, or no, okay, nothing. That's fine. Try and use the Kodachis to get through that ward, and then see if we can just throw the Gutswave for 5 to clear that. Okay, cool. So that's out, which is good. We don't get to use Wind Cutter here. I think he meant to block with that, which is good. Fine for us. Yeah. Just gonna throw Gust Wave for 5. He probably gives us a card and Crown, or 2 cards maybe. But then we can use our boots and just go Bonds for 5 into Fluster for 5 into the Salt. That's genuinely fine with me. I think we just need to get the value. Because this hand is, when on Harmony, I think we want to just get value that we can. I'm not going to Pouncing Links here. I will Katsu. Oh, I have no target for Katsu, so I can't actually. Just kidding. But we can throw a Salt here off of these cards, which is something. Bonds for 5, into the other for 5, into Salt for who knows how much, but it'll be for some amount, some decent amount, maybe 4, 5, or 6. 5 if we can get them all to hit here. Actually, yeah, not 6. But 5, 5 into 5 is pretty good. Okay, that's Shelter as well. That's fine. We're not popping Mask. We're going to save that for later because we don't really have any targets for it, to be honest, right now. I'd rather just... And we do get to Wind Cutter here, which is nice now. So we get to get 1 Shuriken out of the deck, which I am happy with. I think that makes the boots worth it for sure as well. Running Yellow Six. So this must be the list that did well in... some variation of the list that did well at US Nationals as well. Not going to Mask here. We'll just throw Salt for 5. That puts him down to 19 if that hits. Leaves him with 2 cards. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. That's totally fine in my opinion. We lose our boots, which is our get out of jail free, but we have a Bonds in the bin. We just need to play with Tempest and play around that or become the bottle, and we'll be fine. Just playing some Ward Auras and such. This comes in for 5. I'm going to just block. This isn't a super impactful hand again. We don't have any natural go again. I do want to get this Bonds into the arsenal, I think, so that we can set up with it. But I want to make sure we try and get rid of this Ward Aura, because I don't want it sticking around, really. I think I'm going to just IP myself a little bit here just to save some health. There's no arsenal, which is good. So we can throw Kadachi, try and clear that aura. And then just arsenal the Bonds. Or the Empowerment. Probably arsenal the Empowerment in case they CNC it. Like, that's fine if they, kill that. Not the end of the world if we lose the Empowerment. But losing the Bonds would suck, so I'm going to hold on to that and put the Empowerment in Arsenal. I think that's just better. Nice Tempest here. So we can, yeah, I like this hand a lot. Okay, so they're Miraging Metamorph here for 7 go again. Pretty good. We do not have a popper because I was not running them as well. I could run CNCs in this matchup, like theoretically. I think I'd rather just do what Katsu does. And I could be wrong. Maybe that's the wrong move, but I do like that, in my opinion. I think that's better. So it sounds like they're going to go 8 here into probably Crackle for 5 off of Refractor. So 4 card 13. Well, 3 card 13 technically. Holding an Arsenal, which is pretty good. They'll put us at 20. But we do have a pretty strong turn back here. Especially having that Empowerment Arsenal and a Shuriken on board. I'm pretty happy with the position we're in here. We have Mask available still. We aren't going to have to use Heart and Cross-Trap on this turn. They do have an Arsenal, but, I mean, it's probably a D-React, but, There's only Ward Aura 1 on the board. We can probably just clear it. We have a nice Tempest into Bonds. We can use this Retrace to pull out something else. I'm happy with that. We'll see what we draw off Empowerment too, because that could change our move for sure. see what we're going to end up with off of that. Because we could draw a nice combo piece there and then be able to extend for sure there. So we'll see. We'll see what we draw, I think, off of the empowerment before we really make any big decisions here. Because they probably have a D-React, which is fine. I'm going to force them to use it with the empowerment, I think, which will bait that out, the 4-block out. I'm just going to let that hit. Okay, so we're just going to let that hit. So I think here we go into a double bonds play. We Katsu that into... because we don't have a Tempest in here, so we do need to pull the Tempest out from hand, then we can bonds the bonds. I'm not going to mask yet. I do want to see what we draw off of empowerment still. And this is a pretty good damage turn. We're going to be able to go 4 into 4 into 4 into 4, whatever. Looks like they're not blocking though, so I'm going to draw another Tempest. We can mask a retrace question? We can. We can bonds a retrace on our second one, so I could pull out like a blue fluster, low-key. Is that crazy? Is that crazy of me to do that? It's Salt the Wound again. I think we do. Not going to mask, yeah. I don't want to televise the play. We do have a bunch of +1s available too with our shurikens. I think I'm going to pull out a blue Flusterfist with Massive Pouncing Links. That would be a first for sure if we do that. But I think that's super spicy. Because we'll be able to pull a retrace out with our second bonds here. Play the Tempest, play the retrace, and then play the Fluster for guaranteed 2, 3, 4, 5 already for sure. Getting 5 out of mask feels pretty good. And we still have 1, 2, 3 more chain links to go. Given that these don't hit. So it could be higher. I'm not going to pop it yet. I'm still going to wait. Because I don't want him to think about what it is that I'm pulling out yet. Because if we do, he incentivizes him to block super well. It's a hard game to play. You know, when do I guarantee I'm going to get my mass draw? Like, when am I like, okay, I'm happy with this amount of value? And I think here is that point. Because what I can do is he's going to play a Fate. I can pop one of our shurikens to make that hit. Kind of losing the value on it. Now we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4. We've hit 5 times. So I think we go mask here and we grab the blue Fluster, right? Surely that's the best line. The option is like a yellow. I'm going to try and draw a card, but this is just worth so much. It's not a red. Would much rather mask it for the red. Now, the beginning of the game, we did get rid of our second red Fluster instead of holding on to it. Was that the wrong call? Maybe. It's worth 2 more points of damage here if we pull a retrace out with mask and get a red Fluster out from the graveyard from our bonds. I don't know. I mean, 2 damage, 2 points. It could matter. It could matter for sure. I don't think it's gonna. We're still holding that resource as well for the Wind Cutter, which is good. This has got to be open to center. I'm fine holding this as long as possible because sometimes they forget that I can pull it out and pop it right away. It's like an on-demand breaking scales, and I like holding on to it. Just you also never know if you're going to get Mugenji in your hand somehow, and that line makes more sense. We'll put it out. I'm not going to pop it. I'm going to hold on to it. I don't really need to pop it. And then this should be for lethal, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, it's only 9. Theoretically, it is 10 with the shuriken. Like getting 9 value out of a blue Fluster off of mask is insane. That is psychotic numbers, in my opinion. So this is going to force another card from his hand, for sure, or Tunic, or the resource for Calming Gesture. Either one of those, I mean, that's cool with me. The Tunic for Calming Gesture means he can't Tunic for Lightning Greaves, which is great. But I think we just get a card from hand here. And this takes 6% of 4. I think holding the Shuriken here is fine. Because if we can get like a 0 for 4 after 2 Kodachis or something, I think that's more impactful than just putting him to 3. If we were to put him to 2 or 1, I think, yeah, that's probably worth it. And this is a cool hand. So he's just coming in for 5. I'm just gonna take 5 here. This hand doesn't actually does fully convert. We can convert this. 2 Fleeting Star Breezes, nice. And then I'm assuming he tunics here for the Refractor. Second swing on the other Star Breeze. So that's a 3-card 10. I mean, it's pretty good. Numbers wise, that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. Does insulate him from 2 Kodachis. He has no tunic now, so can play around it a little bit. We do have a T-Green reflex we can use on Become the Bottle to get over the top. They do have the Calming Gesture on demand, so we do have to be careful with that. I'm going to just let these get eaten up by the Star Breezes. Because there's no reason to T-Green on that to make it hit for 1. It doesn't do anything for me, so I'll just get rid of them. We'll go Become the Bottle for 3 here. Theoretically, it is not shurikenable, so maybe he just gives us 3 and we can T-Green for 4 to force him to give me cards. Which would be pretty cool. Because he doesn't have Tunic, which means he has to pay 1 for the Calming Gesture, should he want to do that. And I think we still have... No, we do not have any more Tempest, but we could pull out like 100 Winds or something like that. We just don't have Boots, so we have to kind of play around not having the guaranteed go again, kind of get out of jail free style. He's probably deciding on Calming Gesture here, which I'm cool with because that pulls a card out of his hand, and then I can throw this for 3, theoretically 4, which pulls another card out of his hand. And he's not going to, so we're going to get to Katsu here, which is huge. We have a Floating Resource. I almost want to save the Floating Resource to try and get our last Shuriken out, if possible. Which means our only play here really is 100 Winds into Whelming Gust Wave, and I think that's probably best. Getting him to as low as possible here is important. Because if we can hit with this 100 Winds, we can use the Wind Cut, the Shuriken, to get +1 here to get this for 1. Then we can Whelming and pull out our final Shuriken. And I think I'm running Swift Pickup in this matchup, which means I'll be able to have all of my Swift Pickup active. He just dies if he doesn't block this, so I'm just going to let him play his D-React. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. I think we still strip the card from him by throwing this Whelming. We can brick for sure, yes. Not having the Whelming in Arsenal, we can absolutely brick our next hand. But this allows him to not be able to pay for Refractor and put an Aura out, which is important because that keeps our health total higher. Or it forces him to give us equipment here, which, again, him not having the Tunic resource feels pretty good on our end, I think. I think just taking a card from him. I don't get to use my Wind Cutter here, unfortunately, but that's fine. I think that still means that he's giving us Tunic, so I'm just going to force him to give me the card from hand. I mean, he could have the D-React, and that's fine, and we just lose. Okay. Interesting. He didn't just block with Metamorph, but okay. Stops him from dying. I mean, yeah, he doesn't die. We take 1. He goes to 1, which is pretty brutal from this position. As long as we draw an averagely... Okay, not really an averagely punching hand, but we can just play this to make this a 5 instead of a 4. I don't really care that we lose a Surging Strike. It is what it is. We can go 1-1 into 5, pump it to 6. So, I mean, that should strip the whole hand. If not the whole hand, it should strip most of it. And that's just the yellow. So we still have all 3 reds in the deck, correct? Ooh, a life gain off Nourishing Glow is spicy there. Very nice. So that covers the 1. We'll take another 1. All the ward 1s that can kind of do some cool stuff at the end of the game could get a little annoying, but we usually have enough outs that I'm not too concerned about breaking from here. And we throw this for 5. And this should give us 2 cards. If he gives us 2 cards, I'm just going to Arsenal this Empowerment for next turn. because unless they're only going to, if he's blocking 5 exactly, then I'll force the card out. But if he's blocking like 6 here, I'm not going to waste this on that. It makes more sense to just hold it for next turn. So, which, I mean, he probably plays around it. He saw that I played 1 earlier, so he probably anticipates that I have a second one. At some point, he has to play around it. But you can't play around it all game, because then I think you just lose. You have to try and do your gameplay first, really. But yeah, I think us doing that that blue fluster line was super, super spicy. Theoretically, it would have been like, 2 more damage, and it would have put him at lethal had we not. I'm not going to do anything here. Just let him play the sync. Yep, perfect. That's fine. Don't attack react to that. That's cool. Just going to Arsenal, this Ancestral Empowerment. This is a hand that fully converts, like, well. I'm guessing he just wants to change how he blocks here. Which is fine. I mean, he can change how he blocks. I don't care. This is just Talishar, you know what I mean? It's not like anything crazy. Oh, okay, so he's doing that instead. So he's holding on to... What did he block with again? A Haze Bending. Oh, so he's just going to play the Haze Bending. Okay. And pass. Which is pretty good. But oh, he's going to pitch it. Ah, nice. Okay. To make the shield. Sick. I'm just going to give him Wind Cutter here because I don't really need it. I can't hit him anymore, so I can't get any more shurikens out of the deck. But at this point, we can go 1-1-3-3-2 with the empowerment at any of those attack actions, which I think is probably enough, unless he Nourishing Glows again and we gain a life, and then we have to play around that, which on no Arsenal, I think that's fine. Him having to use the Calming Gesture offensively, and he had the Nourishing Glow, look at that. Him having to play the Calming Gesture offensively, I think, is good for us, because it stops us having to worry about a breakpoint. Actually, 100 wins into Become the Bottle, picking 100 wins allows us, if we can hit for one, to pull out, and this is where we go for it, a third 100. Oof. Spicy. He can't do the thing, though. That's game for us, for sure. We can grab another 100 wins, and we can go 100, 100, 100, baby. I'll just play that one and call it there. But yeah, that was a good game. I was pretty... Getting to play around a weird line like that after losing our boots was really interesting. We were 34 that turn, which was pretty sick. Off of a blue fluster headpiece grab. But yeah, overall, really good game. I think Katsu plays super strongly into Zyggy. Their board state can be difficult to deal with sometimes if they get to go first and set up well. But I think we just offer too many breakpoints and force too much physical damage that they just can't cover it when they draw too many of those auras at the same time. And we can eventually just kind of walk them down. Taking 5 to 10 damage a turn for us with no disruption usually is like, doesn't bother us that much. So yeah, super great game. Appreciate you all watching that. I hope you had fun. Got to see the lines, especially with the new hero a little bit. Like I said, that Metafight is in the description if you want to play this deck and see the sideboard for it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't think the sideboard for Zyggy is in there. Just with it being a new hero, I might have actually. I can't remember if I did or not. But I didn't play any of that weekend, so I don't think I have it in there. I might add it if someone wants to see it. I could update it and throw it in there for you. So yeah, thank you again for watching and supporting the Floating Dojo. Until next time. We're going to be doing some more Silver Age content with some new decks in the near future. I was playing a lot of Kano, and I would like to start building some more cool Silver Age decks and showcasing those to you guys, as I have done in the past. So keep an eye out for those soon. More Katsu gaming as usual, and I will see you next time. Peace out.